Welcome to the stream. And today, I think I'm gonna put a little bit more work into into our little Mac app. So this is the app. It's a what you see here is the configuration for its counterpart, which is the Xcode plugin that formats your code. Okay, so when you install that app and you open Xcode, you get this additional thing here, which will generate doc strings for you. And the doc string can be in various formats with a lot of nuances, and that's what you use this app for. You configure it, and then you can activate. You can have different profile for different projects, and you can manage the profile. You can activate them, etc., etc. For example, I don't know if this is working, but let's try. The reason I don't know is because when you develop this, you end up with multiple instances. So as a demonstration, let's activate this guy, and then use that functionality again. Okay, so you notice that it generates this doc string with some placeholders, and the keyword here is parameter index because we have an index parameter, but the p is lowercase. Okay, so that tells me it's not really working, but yeah, so maybe that's because we're using this is the actual thing that controls it. So let me try that again. So it just changed from lowercase to uppercase. Let's run this again. Now you'll see it reformatted my doc string, and now the keyword is uppercase. So that's kind of the purpose for this. Yeah, obviously, what we were looking at earlier is the version in development. So looking through the issues I filed, quote unquote issues, really I'm using this as a to-do. For now, there really aren't a lot left to do. One thing I noticed is okay, let me try something real quick. I'm gonna build the app, and we have some failures for some reason. All right, let's just rebuild the app. It's a good thing to start the stream with. In the meantime, I'm going to look over here for a little. Just bear with me. I have a good reason to look, and I have a good reason to keep it off stream. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so it built. It should be okay. Let's see. Pages. Oh, okay. Cool. Sorry about that. Yeah. So one thing that's special about today is I am attempting a stream on Facebook as well. And I don't normally use Facebook, and today is also literally the first time I opened their streaming tools. So I was a little confused as to where to even find my stream. But yeah, so I made a page, and I thought the stream will go on the page, but it's probably not going on the page right now. But according to my streaming software, I am live on Facebook somewhere. So that's why I'm slightly confused. Slightly confused. Ah, okay. So people can see that on my personal page, which is pretty interesting. All right. Good enough. All right, so this is our app, and I'm just gonna pick some stuff from here and work on it. Okay. So we're gonna work on this one, which is it's kind of an interesting thing. So we have the concept of importing a profile. You can do it here, and you can pick a TOML file. You can give it a different name, and you get to import it. Now, how do we? Now, the inverse of that obviously is to export, which is actually really useful because this project is related to the open source project docstring, and this is the back end, if you will, for majority of the functionality from here. And it has a extensive, I guess, also documented amount of options, and which is what partially what these things do. Okay, so obviously, like looking up these options in the documentation and read about them and understand each one in detail is very intimidating. So having this graphical tool that updates the example under here as you configure is actually a nice thing, right? So this could be one reason you use this app at all is not to use the Xcode source editor plugin, but just use it as a starting point for generating a configuration file for this for using this tool. This I guess this tool the majority of its functionality is linting, but it also has all the functionality this does, but is a command line tool, right? So it's if you really like to type or create some shell aliases, you can do everything this tool does with this. In fact, I've built like Vim plugins that just calls into the command line here, so you can like format your Swift doc strings in Vim that way. Anyways, So, excuse me. Yeah, so we can let you, for example, when you right click here, you should get a export option, and then you click, and then you'll get a save panel. You choose a path, and then we'll write out the file in the path, right? So that's something we can try to implement. Yeah, let's do that. Seems reasonable. Okay, so we'll go back to our this thing that we used last time. It's the profile management tool, and we'll just add a new option here, right? Attempt to export, right? It's gonna be attempt because we're gonna invoke a bunch of actions that you can cancel. So it's definitely not the export action itself. And we'll also just add it here. I don't know what's the right way, so we'll just tuck it on the end. It's gonna be a button that says export ... All this button does is trigger an action. It says export attempt to export. Profile index. Okay. So if I compile here, do we build? We don't build. That's a good thing. Because here is where we would implement that. But for now, we'll just say attempt to export, let index. We'll get a warning there, but that's no problem. We'll just not do anything. See. Yeah, there's some still errors here. That's annoying. Like, it's not real. Yeah, please go away. Okay. So now if I right click, I'll get this export option. What's fun is if I click here, I also get the option, right? Because that's where we edited it. Okay, there's a... Did I put that there? Anyways, it's good to know that we got here in the code, which means we can move on to implement the actual export functionality. The actual export functionality is going to be similar to this, not this one. It's going to be similar to the import one. But yeah, we'll just do something like here. Export profile. Well, let's think. So we have an index, right? So the first step obviously is to get the actual profile from the index. State. Do we have a list here? Okay, profiles index. So this is the profile. And then we need to convert the profile into a string, which happens to be in the TOML format. That's going to be a fun little sub project. Let's write that. I'll just add a file here that says okay, profile plus extensions. Okay, extension. Well, profile is not going to be available here. That's not a big deal. We can say import docstring. Okay, and just make a function that says as TOML or something like that. We'll just return the empty string for now. Actually, Let's return the profile name for now. Because the rest of, I want to hook up the rest of the app. That's the interesting part. Okay, so we're back here. We can get the TOML string as profile.as TOML. Actually, maybe this shouldn't happen here. I mean, that's not a big deal. We just create a side effect that's called, I don't know, export profile, and it's a effect for app action. And wait, app action? No, maybe. So let's see. So what needs to happen here? We need to convert the profile to a string, easy. And then we need to open a save panel, and user may cancel the save panel there, right? So depending on whether user selected a location and file name, we could end up saving the file, saving the actual TOML file, or nothing, doing nothing. Okay. So how do we handle either, right? So I guess well, more importantly, do we do anything after the export succeeds, right? We can show an alert or something that says, you know, it succeeded. I suppose that's a thing. Yeah, we can do that. So that would be an app action. Yeah. Which also makes me want to change this, how this is handled. So when this is an attempt to export, we'll just return none and do nothing here. And we'll handle that later in here. So that's the profile list, profile management. It's somewhere in here, profile list. There's another stale error. Ah, it's here. Okay, so for most of these, we'll do nothing, but for one case, which is export index. For this case, we will call our export function. Here we'll just say well, let me return none at first. Okay, and then return that here. Inf dot export state list profiles. index. Okay. Now we're going to just go here and think about what we need to do here. First of all, as promised, let's get the TOML string out. That's the easiest step. And then we're going to need to make the NS save panel and all that jazz, right? So panel equals NS save panel. Did I import app-kit? All right. NS save panel. And then I guess we can do open. Actually, let me just look at what I did with NS open panel, which we definitely do here. Okay, so this is this is when they import something, right? You allow showing, this is a good option to have, and then you just say run model. Okay, easy. Dispatch queue main async. Okay, and then panel something modal, run modal. Okay. I guess return none for now. Oh, weird. Oh, whoa, no. I'm doing a weird thing here. This whole thing is supposed to be a side effect, right? So what I really want to do is like a future, and then yeah. And then the app action needs to have something like export succeed, and export cancelled. I don't know. Is there a failure case? Yeah, I don't know what these are supposed to do. I mean, succeed, like I said, we can show alert, but cancelled might not be anything. Hey, Ruffles. Ruffles asked, how are you enjoying SwiftUI so far? Oh, hey, Gilad is here as well. Yeah, SwiftUI is let's just put it this way. I don't get to use it at work, so I really enjoy it. Yeah, I think SwiftUI is a very powerful tool. I really enjoy it because I know things like this exist in the world in other ecosystems, but I've never had concrete interactions with them. I know them in theory, but I've never used it. And I think this framework is it's so tightly integrated with Swift, right? Swift introduced so many different language features just for it, and this combined with the tight language integration is impressive, and it's I'm very excited to be able to build more stuff with it. It's kind of why I'm doing all this right now. It's You think Facebook at Facebook? So you work at Facebook. Yeah, I also find it super interesting that Apple appears to be fully pushing it with all this like mandatory usage for widgets and stuff. So yeah, it reminds me when Swift came out. Yeah, that year, starting from that year, all WWDC slides suddenly had Swift code in them instead of Objective C. And this year, yeah, right. This year, StubDub is like all talks are SwiftUI, everything. You use SwiftUI everywhere for all purposes. That's pretty interesting. Okay, let me get back to this thingy. Right. So as I was talking through this, I realized. So there's a completion here. Oh, I probably don't need the canceled action for now, because it's optional, right? Whether you complete with anything. Yeah. Wait, what I realized was that this doesn't have to be scoped in here. This could be fold back included in here instead, I feel like. If I scope this in here, that means this guy needs to return the profile management action. Maybe that's the reason to not do it there, because what I'm gonna do with a profile management action. Oh, let's give it a shot. Profile management action. And then I'll go back to the app action, right? App action. Oops. Let's take this and put it in profile. Management action. Yeah, well, Apple is. Well, I feel like I have a feeling that Apple, after Swift 5, will accelerate greatly because they're vendors for system frameworks, right? So they cannot use it. Majority of them, they don't just write apps. They write their apps, yes, but the apps is implemented in terms of frameworks, which they also open up to third party. So those frameworks will have to build on a stable API. So after Swift 5, I imagine they will be more free to use Swift and SwiftUI. So, which is also why when everybody was like, oh, they're not, when Swift API was being worked on, lots of people were like, oh, we're not seeing new features, blah, blah, blah. And my thought was this is actually the existential test for Swift, because Apple have introduced and abandoned programming languages in the past. And if you really think hard about it, before Swift 5, Apple could just, for whatever reason, cancel the language, and they won't suffer a huge loss, because the majority of the first-party technology is still built on top of Objective-C and C++. So yes, some third party will complain, but it's not a fundamental problem to cancel the Swift project. Because Swift is not widely adopted within Apple, and the reason for that is because of lack of API. So having an API and have it freed up within Apple is actually makes Swift longevity like better, way better. Yeah. So that's my take on API. It's existential to the continuation to the Swift project. Export succeed. Okay. All right. Okay, so I run model here, and then I think you say like, well. Yeah, so now this is not complete. Oh. Wait, I have app state here, right? Okay, so now this is incomplete. That's no problem. Let's do export succeed. And okay, we'll handle export succeed from here. None to do some thing. Okay, I'm fine with this. Okay, so you run model. We can actually think about this. Okay. So I can do export. I'll show a model. Oh, maybe not. What's the error here? Unable to display save panel. Your app has a user selected file read entitlement, but needs user selected file read write entitlement to save panel. Ah, okay. Here we go again. Entitlement read only. Okay, how do I change this? All right, let's just Google this whole thing. So Raffle says Swift has brought more engineers to the Apple ecosystem than Objective-C. People just prefer even need to use Swift. Apple needs it. Yeah, I agree. It's a better language. It's developed by very smart people with a lot of experiences. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think working with pointers in Swift is very interesting because it's like safe pointers. There's a talk this year about unsafe pointers. That's super interesting. I encourage everyone to watch. So is this the entitlement? Needs user selected file read write. User security select user selected read write. I assume this is the one I want. And I'm just gonna do a switcheroo. Oh, what happened? Okay. So let's try this again. Hopefully this is less nasty than the bookmark stuff. Export. There we go. Yeah. So the save panel must give us an option to customize the file name, right? Let me just cancel this. and I save panel. Begin sheet modal. Begin wrong modal. Okay, so URL title, prompt. Oh yeah, prompt is a good thing to customize for sure. Panel.prompt is export. I think if I know what it is, it's very weird because it's actually the title for the primary button. Yeah, it's this thing. Okay. No. How about them? File name text field. Name text field label. The user editable currently showing. Okay, so which one do I edit? Well, let's just try this. Name field label. Nope. Oh, it's this. Okay, so value is so dumb. Okay. Was it not this? Name field string value. Okay. And what was the value by default? Save as. Okay. That's cool. And that's what I wanted. And then you just pick your best favorite place, and then you can say I don't know. Let me just get rid of that. And you hit export, right? You hit export, and it doesn't do anything obviously, because it's not gonna save. But I assume at this point the panel will give us something. It's like URL. It's gonna give us a URL, right? Oh, and there's also a return value for wrong model, maybe. Modal response. Yes. Okay. So result is wrong model, and then if result is okay uppercase, let URL equals panel URL. Let's just print the URL here. And I assume this URL is gonna be writable for me, right? Again, let's do this. Okay, it's a URL, and I'm gonna guess it's writable. So I have the string, so I can do string. Wait, how do you do this? Write to URL technically blah blah blah. Yeah, this one. Write to file maybe. Write to URL. URL, yes. Atomically, yes. Encoding UTF-8. All right. And this is probably available, or yeah, you can do try. Okay, so this is interesting, right? The try could fail here. And that's definitely a outcome. So here's the other outcome, which is user canceled, totally fine. And then you can also fail here. Right? So there's 3 branches. Or maybe I can do something like export completed bool, and then just give it URL. So when this finishes, we'll call completion success export finished true URL. Did I not call it export finished? Completed. And for the other 2 cases, we'll just do false and false. No. Maybe? Right, now we need to do this as well. Oh, excuse me. Completed. And we forward that to the actual big reducer here. All right, again, I'll do the actual handling later. Okay, so this should make it actually work. Let's see. All right, so let's export. Give it a non-hidden name. Export. Okay. And let's check desktop. Yep, there it is. And its content should be the name of the TOML file. Oh. I mean, awkward. Okay. Text edit, please. All applications, and then text edit. There we go. Feature X. Yeah, that's the name of the title. Yeah, so we didn't run into any app sandboxing issues. That's great. Yeah. Now let's work on the response. So what is the good user experience here? What happens when you save, I don't know, save a file or export? Let's see export. What does export do? What? Wait, what just happened? There's an export functionality in Xcode? Is it a... Does it just export this source file? I assume that's what it is. Okay, so you just don't get any follow-up. Okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so let's grab our associated data here. So that means I don't need the first piece of data. I don't need to care about whether something is successful. Just do this instead. So this case would be called export failed. Yeah, it's the comment. That's why I couldn't think of what's the right thing, because I export files all the time from Sketch, for example, and I just couldn't think. I was like, what does macamps do when you export? I tried to think of something, but it turns out it's nothing. That's why I couldn't think of it. Okay, so okay. All right. Let's see. Maybe it's helpful to add the profile name here as well, right? Let's see. So this just go away. Will not deal with you. Here we include the profile name. Oh, export failed. All right. Here again. Oh, come on. All right. Name URL. Export failed. All right, so at this point, I need to go to the app state and add a additional piece of state here. App state, right? Because the pattern goes like so I'm showing alert, and it's shown because a state goes from nil to non-nil, and then when you dismiss it, it sets the state back to nil, right? That's how it's supposed to work. Maybe. Wait, how's my import failure shown? Present sheet. Is import not a thing anymore? That can't be. Oh yeah, it's not alert anymore. It's not an alert anymore. Okay. That's cool. So export would be the only alert. Export failure. It's gonna be a string and a URL. It's gonna be optional. And we're gonna import foundation for the URL. Why would it be URL? Just use a string. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay. So all we need to do here is set the state dot export failure to name and URL, right? Ah, please. Don't do this to me, man. Come on. Okay, okay. All right. Export failure is going to be quitable. And we will give it two fields, the name of the profile and the export destination or something. There. Export failure. Okay. Export state dot init profile name destination. We good? Okay. All right. Now we can update our view. Man, this thing is massive. It's almost 200 lines. Okay. So one thing that's really bad is we already have a alert. Okay. It's really bad because just like the sheet, we need to combine the states and do things like this. Okay, let's do it. So App Store. So the alert right now is for warning deletion for index. Okay. App state warn. Okay, so there's one, there's two. So either of these condition should trigger an alert. Okay, so present alert is a bool and it's warn something 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 isn't nil, or export failure please isn't nil. Okay, and then we'll go switch back here and say first of all, I need to get rid of all these view store.states. Let's just do it systematically. Whoop. So there's a whole bunch of them, and we can get rid of them like so. Yeah. Okay. And this one will be present alert. And here, well, it's like if views show this one. Well, let's hide this now. Otherwise, show some other thing. Okay. Let's make sure we didn't break that. Oh, sure. Oh, and you expect an alert. Okay. Let's just show the same thing. I'm too lazy to create an alert. Please. Okay. I could do like a tertiary, but it's it's fake code anyway. So just to make sure this still works, okay, this alert appears to be working. Cancel is still be working. Confirm should be working. Okay, good. All right, now we make the other alert. The other alert. Wait, how is delete alert implemented? So delete alert is like blah 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 blah. We just force unwrap this value. Good enough for me. Let's do export failure alert. That view store is view store from store, and let the failure equals view store dot export failure. Force unwrap, and then we return alert. We have title, message, dismiss button. Can I just say title? The title would be alert maybe I'll write the title earlier. If failure.url, right? If we have a URL, we will do one message, otherwise we do another message, and that'll be our title. And for this one, we'll say title. Oh, I call it destination. Okay. Let's be consistent here. Destination. So title here, it would be what? Could not save profile. I'm going to do raw string here. Can we interpolate with raw string? I think you can. So profile failure.name. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Let's use single quote. Single quotes are great. To destination.path. Okay. Title could. This is the case where you didn't even get the URL. Wait, this case is weird. It shouldn't exist, right? This is when user cancels. Yeah, why do I care about this? I mean, why should I think of it as a failure? Profile management action. This should be non-optional. Then go to the app reducer, and here, where is the export? Okay, here, blah blah blah. Yeah, this case, right, is like result is not okay for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what. It's either okay or cancel. Yeah. It's not okay means it's canceled. So we don't need to react to cancel. And yeah, and URL is non-nil, and we're happy. Let's deal with this. Failure dot was a profile name, right? And this is no longer needed. Boop. Not say profile, blah blah blah, to destination dot path. Oh. Failure dot destination dot path. lies. Oh, it is not lie, but lamao. There's one more place because we can't just synthesize equatable from tuple. Grumble. Okay. It's text. Okay. Okay, now how do I get a failure? Export. First of all. Oh, let me not do this. Let me do a different thing. TOML. So this one should succeed and we were done. Now let's do export again. Do this. So, okay, so this is free for us. Good. Now what? How do I get a failure out of this? What if I make a folder here? Okay, so now it's supposed to save at x and x.toml. But I delete the folder. I feel like this won't work. Right? I'm trying to see if I can delete the folder here, but I think the save panel will react to that. Yeah, it's too smart. How do I fail? How do I test my code? Okay, I see. It's fine. App view. Let's do export failure alert. Okay, let's hook this up. And then we'll just go to the reducer and switch the condition. So in app reducer, if, yeah, sure. Let's do it in both ways. Fail the export, save to a folder you don't have access to. Yeah. Well, okay. All right, let me try that. I'm gonna use my hacky way first. Cannot save, blah, 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 to blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right, so that's the, running implicitly. Please run models using a save panel rather than as application. What? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Let's try the thing Gilad suggested. So I'm gonna make a folder here, call it X. All right. So if I look at S, well, X gives me read, write, and execution, right? So it looks like I need to change mod and minus the right axis to X, right? Now I don't have right axis, I have read and execution, which means I can go into X, right? But I can't write anything here. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that in here. Maybe I can even show the error here. That would be brilliant. Let's go to X. Export. Yep. Good suggestion. let's catch the error, and then let's include the error in here. So that'll be error dot localized description. And we'll have to update our action here and include a string. And then yeah, maybe the export failures thing you can go live with an action. Profile management action. I mean, not even here, right? It could be live in its own file or something. So here we can just simply do export failure, and here I can say let the explanation. Let's try to use descriptive words. Okay, now let compiler tell me what I need to update. Right, here we do let failure very good. So here is where I make another level of braces and just say .init, and then compiler will tell me you didn't put the label thing. I'm going to tell him please put them in for me. All right, so that's that, and we succeeded. Now I need to update the view again, and in addition to the title, I can also include more things. So alert, title, and message. Title, message, and then I have to create my own dismiss button. But I can just say cancel, right? And title is still title. And text would be failure.explanation. Now let's look at what the explanation would be. Oh, there needs to be text. They are views. All right. Cool. I'm worried this will say cancel, which will be really dumb. Desktop. If he does go ahead and name of which begin with the dot file will be hidden. That's fine. Could not use you don't have permission to save the perfect. This explanation reads so well. And this button says cancel. Let's see what Xcode does. Export desktop here, save. No, could not be. No. They say okay. I'm gonna say okay. Okay. Cancel text. Okay. All right. Wow, did we just finish this feature? Export, I guess every, oh. Oh. Oh my God. Forgot to dismiss it. Oh, celebrating too early. Okay. All All right, so let's make an action here. Actually, yeah, it's I'm so close, right? I'm even working. The last piece of code that I touched is the right code that I need to update. So it's not bad. Cancel. I need the one with both label and action, right? Label will still say text. Okay, and then action will say view store dot send dismiss. Wait, let me see. App action. Cancel delete attempt. All right, fine. Acknowledge. No, too long. Cancel export. Yeah. Cancel export, and then we'll go to app reducer and find the other cancel thingy, and it's doing exactly almost exact same thing. Cancel export is state dot export failure equals nil and return none. Okay, now we're done. Now we're done. Wait. Let's make it fail. If there's nice warning, that's fine. Look at this. We see cancel. Click around. Yeah, it's as if nothing has happened. Great. Great. Wait. My tmux session was gone. Oh, look at all these changes. Look at all these changes. We added a file. We updated our entitlement. We had a bunch of stuff. These all look familiar. Some AppKit action in there. Oh, this has not been done. Okay. So we're not done yet. That's a good place to end, though. Let me just commit this as a separate unit. Add UI for exporting profiles. Okay. That's number one. And then we'll have to actually implement the conversion, which is in here. Yay. Okay, so this is a little awkward because I do maintain a package that decodes either bytes or string in the TOML format to Swift object, but it's strictly a decoder. And this obviously is an encoding process. However, unlike things like JSON, there are multiple ways to export an object into multiple valid TOML format. So that's where things are, I guess, awkward. Yes, TOML is not really designed to be a communication protocol, unlike JSON. So like it's used for configuration. So it's not very considerate when it comes to serializing. Obviously, you can provide tons of options for users, so you can have a general purpose serializer, but it's very complex just from a UI design point of view. And when talking about graphic UI, just like APIs. So I'm gonna, in this case, just hard code and exporter. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's do it. So we have a profile object. Our goal is a string. Let's go, right? When I do this kind of thing, I like to have object that collects different lines. And then I'd like to join the lines with a new line towards the end. And that's what's going to give us the string. Okay. And then all we need to do is fill in this lines variable with our stuff. So I'm going to close the canvas here and open up profile over here. Interesting. So I just realized a thing. Profile is a concept for this Mac app specifically, but the config file I'm talking about is for the CLI app, which really only cares about this format object. So I think I need to go back and tweak the UI and make that clear. That's in the menu action thingy, profile management here, right? I should say export docstring configuration, something like this. Whoops. Okay. Hopefully that's a little clear. I need to write some help documentation. Okay. Format preference. Well, format preference is a thing. Yeah, so I need to basically convert this to a string. Okay. Let's see. So in addition to consulting this, I'm also going to look at my own documentation for docstring, which will have some of the values I need. Yay, okay. All right. Okay, brute force, super easy. Now, there are two ways to do this. One is I care about the default value and ignore the entry if it's the default value. The other way is just export everything. I think in this case, I'm leaning towards export everything. It's less confusing for the user, for sure. Yeah, just export everything. The other advantage is it's simpler. It's really just simpler. Is it possible to export everything all together? Using one big string literal, right? So instead of doing that, I can say this equal to this one big literal, which also means I probably don't need this variable, but we'll save that for later. Yeah, this can be a let if everything goes well. and we'll just jump in here and say ignore throws. Okay, start with ignore throws. Well, let's also look at TOML. TOML. Okay, so this is how it works, right? You say ignore throws equals, and then you say true or false. Wait. I think if you print out a bool, it's uppercase T or F, right? So I have to do it manually. So maybe I can do extension bool private as TOML. Then self question mark true false. So here I can say self dot, I don't need to say self, I just say ignore throws. Oh no, it's like profile has a preference. Okay, ignore throws as TOML. Okay, so this needs the var. Oh, right. Let's make functions. I like functions. Function call implies heavy computation, which in this case is not universally true, but overall, it's not a non-trivial conversion. Come on. TOML is private. I thought I wanted the file private. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's one. Yikes. Okay. Ignore return is going to be very similar. Returns. Separation. Okay, this is different. So there's a separation. Oh, not in here, but here. Separation. Needs separation. Okay. And this is going to be a list. It's going to be a list. And I think the easiest way to do this is also make another extension that says format preference dot. Oh, never mind. Okay. So how do I do this? Maybe I should construct it out of line. Yeah. So what is this? This would be, what's the elegant way to do this? I mean, the ugly way is just do this, right? We start with a just brute force it. If preference dot need separation for throws list append. Yeah, this is not necessarily the worst way. Okay. So what is the value we need to append here? Values are description, parameters, throws. Description, parameters, throws. Okay. So throws. It's one of the weird, rare things where the model in the configuration file is a list, and the model in the GUI is a bunch of checkboxes. Parameters. Separation is description, list, append, description. Did I spell that right? Description. Okay. And then we return the list. Okay, so now we have the separations. And in TOML, I think you can use like this. Okay. And use that. Okay. Maybe this whole thing can be a string, right? Then joined separator, comma, space, add a space to make it look nice. And here we can literally say separations. Okay. So that takes care of these three. And then first letter. Okay, here I can go back to the extension approach. Extension format preference dot first letter file private func as TOML string, and then we do self, I guess, switch self case lowercase. I think you return lowercase or verify uppercase. Let's verify. First letter right here. Uppercase, lowercase. Yep. It's as if I wrote them myself. As TOML, that gives me the string, so that's all I need to do here. The key is first dash letter. Oh, wait. Crap. I'm ignoring some important factors here. So these are TOML strings. TOML strings can be single quoted, right? Where's the spec? Version. Oh, there's RC2. Nice. So yeah, I think as soon as the test suite for 1.0 is out, I'm going to do a stream where I go through the new spec and update my TOML library to make it totally conform to 1.0. That's going to be exciting. Okay, so let's look at the string example, blah, blah, blah. Where is the single quote? Literal strings are surrounded by single quotes, like basic string. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to quote all of these guys, right? Quote them. Let's just do them literals. And that's fine. Okay. And this is going to be very similar. Boop, boop. Okay. Here is preference first letter. What? confused. Is it because I'm not closing the string, or I close it too early, I guess? Okay, first letter has TOML. Okay. And where are we? First letter, parameter style. What's that called? Parameter. Is it just called parameter style? Okay. Style. Parameter style is again repeat of this. Format preference. Parameter style. You know, we could leverage the docstring native value. All these values. No, never mind. Because I have to also add these little quotes. Yeah, maybe it's not worth it. What I'm trying to say is like all these raw values are already here in the internal representation. For example, configuration has a type. First letter, first keyword, letter casing, is more clear, I think. And they have the raw value that actually matches the raw value, the serialized raw value. Problem is like I have to import them through a shim and then convert this type to that type, and then I can use that type's raw value, which is actually kind of nice. Actually kind of nice. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. It's kind of nice. Yeah, because I'm not repeating the raw values that way. So I have configuration dot first letter blah 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 blah, and here I just say casing equals dot lowercase. Does it work? Oh, that's a type declaration. Uppercase. And I can just in the end say casing dot raw value. Okay, this is really scientific. I like it actually. Right? How do you make sure you don't mess up a value framework expect? You actually use the framework itself, right? So that's there. I like that. And here I can do the same thing, right? So instead of a list of that, I can say configuration dot, what is it? First letter keyword. What's the corresponding type? Configuration. Blah, blah, blah. Section. It's called section. But its section is public. Now, is section imported as part of the shim? No, it is not. Type alias section equals docstring core dot wait, docstring. Oh, wait. Is it not part of docstring core? It's not. It's in the models. A model is not public, right? Docstring core. So I'm not sure if I can even re-export it over there.
Yeah, it's not like autocomplete is not giving me. Oh no. I mean section. Yeah, I can't do this. Okay. That's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. We've got a good thing going here. We'll just do our best. Okay. File private as TOML and switch self. Well, let configuration. Well, what's this? Style. Wait, is this another one of those? This is a little absurd. Come on. Parameter style. Where is this defined? Oh, okay. It's a different. Maybe. Oh God. Oh God. So one can argue like this Mac app is a user of the Swift package, right? And now as a user we've discovered use cases the package is not supporting. Okay, interesting. So maybe we can just support it. Let me blow this up for you guys. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Okay. Maybe you can just do it because I happen to be the owner of both projects. So maybe I can, cut myself some slack. So here is also another object called shims. And we can just import the models here and then just say public alias some stuff. Stuff being like section, right? Section could be models.section. Yeah. And what's the other one? Parameter style. Parameter style. How about that? Looks good. Let's run our tests. I'll make a little pull request. And then we'll just update the dependency to the new SHA in the GUI app. Everything looks good. Re-export, well, more shimming. Add shim, more shims in library. Users need these. Origin head. Then we can go. Oh, look at that. We have the project open. Let's make a little pull request. Now, how much of this do I want to wade through? Maybe I'll just wade through it. I'll take a break. I'll be right back. Chair stream commence. Ah, the chair stream. How did they do? Okay, one thing that really confuses me is I tried to set up Facebook streaming and I made a page and then I set the pages for streaming. I think at some point I also added the stream content to the page, but when I go to the page, it doesn't show the stream. The stream is happening on my personal page, but yeah, I'm just really confused. I don't know how Facebook works. I'm not a Facebook user. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah, should we check it? Let's check it in a private window. So Facebook, the page is Dwan.streams, but if you go to it, you don't see anything. Okay. Even if you click on videos, you need logging, which sucks. What if I go to my personal page? Yeah, see, you can't see it here neither, which sucks really bad. I need to make that public. I want to work with the page because it has a good URL. Yeah, it's just very confusing. But we'll just return to the thing. You have no idea how any streaming works. Wait a minute, you're right here, Gilad. And you always show up when I stream, so okay, so this worked. As far as I'm concerned, this is good to go. Yeah, okay. Good enough. Rebase and merge, use my privilege. All right, and what's next? Next we grab our SHA. Grab. And we update it here, thusly, so on and so forth. Please, okay. Paste, done. Wait a little bit. Assume it's done. $8D0 F63. So it's not done. Oh. Wait, something happened. Maybe the fact that I have it open confused Xcode. All right, I know Xcode can do this explicitly. Swift packages, resolve versions. Why is it not F63? Pre-tell. It is F63 here, but it's not F63 here. Hello? All right, I'm just restart. Close everything. It still says 8D3 though. Why? And also when I click it, it doesn't do anything. It's very confusing. It's very confusing. All right, let's do the meme thing. Boop boop boop. Ah, come on. I failed. We got it. We got it. Xcode. Go away. Relaunch. Yay, now it's thinking. What was the change again? Oh, so there were, okay. The change was there were a couple of internal types in the command line tool that I want. So I exposed them through some type aliasing. Because I needed I needed raw values, and they were not public, and now they are. But I need to do another layer of re-export from here. Type alias. Where was it? Section. Docstring core dot section. See, this one was not available before. And public type alias. What's the other one? Parameter style. Ooh, parameter style. Docstring core. Parameter style. Okay. Yeah, the shimming is interesting. Starting from Xcode, I think 11, you can't just use not 11, maybe like 11.3 or something. You can't just use a Swift package in different places because the compiler will complain that it's directly linked into different frameworks. So now all I do is I use one framework to import the package I want, and then I export them like this with shims. Therefore, and then the rest of the ecosystem just interact with this framework instead of directly with this Swift package. It's really, really awkward. Okay, but the good thing is we can go back here and do parameter style. But yeah, I won't complain about that now, do you? Okay. Switch self, case, grouped, case, preserve, case, separated. Grouped, I think, is also called grouped. Okay. Preserve, I believe, is called whatever. Okay. Style separated is called separate. Okay. And then return style dot raw value. Okay, now I don't have to worry about typing strings out. Great. All right. We can revise this one now, right? Because I have the section things. So now this can be a list of sections. Oh, no. I mean this. And here the list can just append throws, parameters, description. Okay. But the list will have to go through a map, and we'll map them into the quoted format with the raw value there. Nice. Yeah, that's better. That's better. I don't like typing out letters, strings. Okay, so parameter style now is just preference dot parameter style as TOML. Okay, Moving on. Format preference. No. Format preference dot Swift. Okay. So column limit is simple. Column limit, and then vertical align, blah blah blah, is a bool. So I think the key is just vertical align. Vertical align. Vertical line. Yep. Okay. Preference dot vertical line as TOML. Okay, and then there's a line after colon. I believe this is another case where we need to do something like this. Let me check. Line after colon. Yep, it's a list. Okay. Line after colon is a string with the value computed by the following closure. And in the closure, we construct a list of type section. And we go down a list of Boolean values. For example, preference dot why did I do this? It's not this. It's fine, whatever. Preference dot align after colon for throws. Great. List dot append throws. Reference line after for returns. I'm gonna alphabetize these returns. If preference line after parameter, list append parameter. You know what? In true serializer fashion, I'm gonna write another thing. Extension array where element is section. We will write extension here as TOML. Okay. And here is where we say self dot, actually self and this. And we return list. Yeah. You know, that's a reasonable way to generally export it. Except we're specializing it for a section. That's fine. So now I can say return list as TOML, right? And I need to be careful and remove the square bracket here. The reason, yeah, now I can comfortably say list as TOML here as well. And that is for line after colon. Preference. No. Line after colon. Why is this not highlighted properly? Oh, same as this. So I assume we're fine. And that's all of it, right? So we now have a list of strings, and at the end we join them by new lines, and we're done. So if I now compile, and I can get rid of this little experiment. Ooh, I don't have permission to delete it. Okay. I wonder if that means I can't clear my trash neither. I'll try it later. Export document configuration, desktop, X. Is it worth writing a test for to play around with the result? Yeah, definitely. I'm a little spooked by. Wait, hold on. Why is there two Xcode opened? I can close this one for sure. Oh, maybe I use the beta version Xcode. Okay, let's check the content of this. Oh, let's set the default application here. Open with recommended all applications. Text edit. Change all. Continue. Okay. Now TOML is openable. So this is our result. Well, that's one error right there. And the rest looks okay. And the ultimate test is like we can also import it. So let me just recompile. Let's just play with this. Make this a little odd, like I don't know, 98. And then let's include throw here, include this here and here. Let's make it uppercase here and separate it here. A bunch of stuff changed, right? Now we export it as this. Replace. So this little freeze I don't like. It's like something about doing things in the wrong thread or something. Save panel found it necessary to prepare implicitly. Please prepare panel using NS save panel rather than application or window. What does that mean? Okay. Anyways, so now we have this. Things look okay here. Now let's import it. Okay, let's import it. Import from project. And Slack here, open. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Why not? True, false, needs separation, first letter. Oh, parameter style is not serialized correctly, I think. Parameter style. No. Oh, yeah. I see. I see. Yup. Da, 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 da. I see. Okay, let's just do it here. I'm sure if I Google this error, I'll find something. It doesn't seem. It seems like something that they show to users. By users, I mean like AppKit users. All right, let's see if this makes things better. Okay, visual exam, true, false. This is array. This is not a string. This is still not a string. Why not? I thought I fixed it. Hello? I'm confused. I'm confused. Separate. Where's my quote? Where's my single quotes? Preference, format, parameter style, preference, parameter style as TOML. I mean, isn't that implemented here? What the heck is going on? Now it has it. Is it not overriding it? Let me just like do some wrong bad edits and try to export again to the same location. Replace. Is it a weird phrase? It does override it. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay. Now let's import that. Oh yeah, there's a better way to import, which is just drag and drop. Still invalid. Oh, now what? Why? Ignore throws, ignore returns, needs separation. First letter, parameter style, separate. Column limit, vertical align, align after colon. Which one of these are bad? Oh, no. I think I know the reason, which is a very bad reason. Oh, no, no, no. If I add include equals this and import it. Oh. Yeah, I was missing the include key. And include is required for to be a valid in configuration. Can include be empty? Pass Daniel, pre-tell. Okay, it can be empty, so that's a good thing because I can just export an empty key here. Okay. Yeah, include is the only required value in this configuration format. So let's do the whole round trip thing. Export first. Replace. See our files has good content here, and then we just import it. Yeah, now we can import it. It has a name and it works, and the content, it looks identical to this one. Okay, let me Google this. Blah blah blah. The trick here is delete the memory pointer address value. No longer work on macOS. Oh, this is in Xamarin. Go save panel. Save panel instead of allocate it. Nope. Run panels using save panel rather than as application. Something Catalina. So someone saw this issue with Racket GUI thingies specifically for Catalina, huh? Oh, not Racket, Dr. Rocket, sorry. Handling objects in Swift. Xcode misspelled. Rage. Old API. Access panel run panel doesn't warn about undesired use, possible future deprecation, and neither the warning. So seems legitimate. Begin with completion handler work without warning, but not modal. So no still possible. Try to begin a sheet. Blah blah blah. So this is not the answer. Why these warnings? Trying to move off use a modern API. Look at the documentation for wrong modal. Okay, let's look. Jesus. I thought it was up to date. Unless save panel. Oh, is this already opened? Okay. Wrong modal. It doesn't say it's deprecated. Oh, see, like this is what the warning is talking about. You can use MS application run modal 4 and pass it the panel, right? So that's one way to do it. The other way is call this instance method run modal, and it's the warning is telling us you should use this one but not this one, which we definitely are not using. Okay, so I assume this has something to do with running it within SwiftUI. Reducer. What reducer was that? App reducer? Wrong model. I'm running it within the main thread. Does that matter at all? Also, this only showed up when I dismissed the window. Export. Yeah, when in this state. Found it necessary to prepare implicitly. Maybe this is the more interesting message. Wait, what? When I run, I'm going to use run mode on the instance of this following morning. I'm assuming it has to do something to do with sandboxing and Powerbox. I'm not being able to figure out if anyone has here's the suspect code. Okay, this is just a question, not answer. I have the same problem whenever I have to replace a file. Would love to some insight. Insight is misspelled. Myself, okay. This also appeared here apparently. Yeah. Okay, so I think we are stuck. This is the same post, right? Okay. Okay. Then I'll just choose to not care. Let's get some nesting going. Indentation. Sexy as AF. Who wears it better, Dr. Rocket or Swift UI? Okay. Yay, we're done. Revisions. Oh, that sucks. Where's the trailing closure? Trailing white spaces. Oh, right. Test? Yeah, let's write a really dumb test. Really dumb test. Okay. We call this one, call this one, format preference serialization test. And it's going to import axi test, final class format preference serialization tests, actually test case, function test serializing profile dot format preference, something like this. And then we'll import related types such as docstring, and then we can say profile dot as and also testable. Oh, can't import the main app as testable, can I? Expected. Oh, import. Maybe I can. Okay, good. So make a profile. Base ID preference. The only thing that matters is the preference. var profile equals this. And then we just tweak the profile's preference a little bit, right? And then yeah, let's see. Column limit is 98. And then just look at this real quick. Ignore returns. Let's make that true. Should make some unusual values. Vertical line. Vertical line. True. And then we just call, well, let's say expected TOML is a multi-line string literal. We take this whole thing, paste it, shift it to the right indentation. Boop, boop. Oh, this one. Wait, here? I think this works, but this looks better, right? And then we ignore throw is false. Ignore return. Wait, what's the right way to do this? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I like this almost black box approach. Ignore return. Okay, need separation. I kind of want to test some of these as well. You know what? I'm just gonna keep this real simple. I was gonna reuse some constants and don't repeat myself and all that. No. How about I just make this profile into this? Ignore a profile preference, ignore throws is true. Come on. Profile preference separate for description is true. Profile preference first letter is uppercase. Profile preference parameter style is separated. Okay. Profile preference column limit is 98. Profile preference vertically aligned blah 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 is true. And profile preference align after colon for returns is true. Okay, and then that's our setup the test. Cert equal profile as TOML and expected TOML. Okay, that's our test. Yay. Just pass. Please. I'm sad. What is it? Oh. I messed up the default values. All right. So instead of setting this to true, I should set some stuff to false. Separating for throws should be false. Separation for parameters should be false. Okay. And line after colon Line after colon for throws is false. A line after colon for parameter is false. Okay, so this leaves return and this leaves description. And ignore throws is true, ignore returns. Ignore throws is true, ignore returns is false. Okay. All right, there we go. Cool. Wait, what do we do? I think I'll just amend the previous commit. Oh, that was UI. Okay. I guess this is a pretty logical unit. Add profile to TOML serialization. Okie dokie. I think that is it for today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this not on Twitch, please consider following me on Twitch, Daniel_Duan. If you like to watch on YouTube or you're watching this in the archives, you know, give me a like and subscribe. Yeah.